kepsu järgi oleme täitsa õiges kohas ju.
No loodame, aga noh, mere peal on nii, et ega sa kunagi päris täpselt ei tea ju.
No Andrei, kas paistab?
No vaatame koos.
Vaatame. Ossa. No, juga paistab.
Juga paistab.
Sina paistad.
Meri paistab.
Meri paistab.
Tuleb välja, et 1 miljon rubla ei olnud ilma asjata antud.
Merevaade Kanal 2 homme laupäeva hommikul kell 9:40.
Stockholmi külastades on üks põhiline asi, mida te kindlasti ei tohi maha magada ja millest ei tohi ilma jääda. Vaasa puulaeva muuseum. Muide, ja kui te olete tulnud Stockholmi Tallinki laevaga ja teil on alles pilet või olete lihtsalt Tallinkiga tihesõitja ja teil on kliendikaart, siis te saate Vaasa muuseumisse tervelt 4 eurot soodsamalt. Tasub ära käia.
Paradoksaalsel kombel on tänapäeva Stockholmi üks tuntumaid vaatamisväärsusi mereajaloo üks suurimaid läbikukkumisi. Nimelt jõudis Rootsi keiserliku sõjaväe lipulaev Vaasa oma esimesel ehk Neitsi reisil seilata sadamast kõigest 2 kilomeetri kaugusele, kui ta juba ootamatult uppus. Enam kui 300 aastaga on omaaegne häbi aga unustatud ja vastuolulisel laevavrakil on nüüd koht iga rootslase südames ja ka oma hiiglaslik muuseum. Päevas satuks siia üle 1000 külastaja ja seekord on kaamerate ja mikrofonidega kohal ka Merevaade.
When Vasa was being built, she was probably one of the largest ships ever been built, absolutely here in Stockholm and probably in Europe as well. And the king had commissioned a ship with the 64 guns. The shipbuilder had no idea how to fit the 64 guns, and it's believed that he experimented a little bit with the 2 gun decks.
Üks otsus, mis enne Vaasa sündi sai talle saatuslikuks, oli see, et kuningas soovis siin laeval näha 60 võimast rauast kahurit. Ja siin saame ettekujutuse, kui suured olid tegelikult need pardakahurid, mis Vaasa põhja viisid ja tegid ta ebastabiilseks. Tõsi, nagu hääle järgi kuuleme, on siin tegemist kõigest plastmassist koopiatega.
Vasa was discovered in late 50s by a private person called Anders Franzén, and he was sort of a keen archaeologist or a marine archaeologist, and he knew the very special and unique conditions for the Baltic Sea. You know, the Baltic Sea is not salt water, it's not sweet water, it's a brackish mix, and when you have this brackish water, you don't have shipworms that eat wood, so shipwrecks that sunk in the Baltic actually stay quite intact. And he set out to look for Vasa because he had studied all documents, and he was rowing around in a rowing boat looking for her for many, many years. And in 1959 he found her and then started to convince everybody that we should give it a try and raise her. She was lying on 34 meters depth, which is actually really hard to dive and to work and to secure because you have to do heavy diving and so on. So it was a tricky business. And also in those days, at first, they didn't know if the body of the ship or the hull of the ship would keep together or if it would fall apart when they started to lift her. And also Vasa was lying in the most narrow passage in and out of Stockholm, where all the cruise ships and ships entered and left Stockholm. So they also had to get her out of the way of the traffic of the cruise liners. Yeah. So she was moved in different steps and several steps over a period of time. Vasa broke water surface after a long time of painstaking work to secure the hull and find out how to raise her. But she actually broke water surface on April 24th, 1961. It's actually the same time when Americans and the Russians were competing to reach to the moon. And it's a time when engineering and innovation and progress is so committed to engineers and technology. And in Sweden, we were busy trying to rescue this capsula of 17th century history. So this was our sort of space chase, and the result is here to see today.
Et merepõhjast üles toodud laevavrakist vaatamisväärsus kujundada, tuli see kõigepealt konserveerida. Värske õhu käes hakkas nimelt iidne puit kiiresti lagunema. Spetsiaalse immutusainega töödeldi vaasat tervelt 17 aastat, mis järel 9 järgnevat aastat tuli seda kuivatada. Tänapäeval hoitakse muuseumisaalis kindlat temperatuuri ja õhuniiskust, et laev ka järeltulevatele põlvedele avastamisrõõmu pakuks. Laevaga tegelevad inimesed tõdevad, et tehnoloogia arengu tõttu pakub Vaasa alatasa avastamisrõõmu ka teadusele. Värskeimaks üllatuseks võib pidada laevaga koos hukkunud meresõitjate isikute tuvastamist.
Kes olid need 30 inimest, kes koos Vaasaga merepõhja jäid? Tänaseks on pinnale toodud umbes tosina jagu skeletti ja neid on üsna põhjalikult uuritud. Ja kohtuekspertidel õnnestus nende skelettidega teha ära väga suur töö. Nimelt on meil praegu võimalus näha, millised nägid välja tolleaegsed rootslased. Nüüd me teame, et põhjus, miks Vaasa hukkus, on see, et on liiga kitsas, aga liiga kõrge ja massiivne. Ja vaadake, minu selja taga on näha mastid, aga tegelikult ainult pool nendest, 30 meetrit. Ja me näeme masti tegelikku kõrgust, kui jalutame välja.
What is quite unique is that it's a frozen moment with an insight of early Swedish modern history, where you can actually see a whole society which is complete. And it's a part of our national identity and so on. I also think it's quite unique because it's a modern history, like the rescue and the preservation work and the research work that goes on today. It shows a little bit of ambition, innovation, a little bit of crazy attitude to take on such a task, to first bring her up and then rescue her and then keep her preserved and so on. So it's an ongoing project that sort of interests people, and you can come back many times, and in between visits you will see that things change and we learn more, and it's just an ongoing story with no end, what we can see at least.